What I want to know is, in those moments, how are you able to recompose yourself and say, we're going to try this again, and then recalibrate your mindset so that after failure, you come in stronger the second time? What's going on in your head when you are recalibrating?
So there is a give and take in all things. And I think that as you continue to develop yourself, and as I continue to develop myself and develop that confidence, it's understanding that it's a game of probabilities, right? So it's a risk and reward ratio. And it all comes down to knowledge and information. So for example, if you talk about investing in crypto, investing in the markets, or starting a business, the markets can go two ways, either up or down. You have a 50-50 chance. Businesses have an 80% chance of failure. So when I look at that metric in and of itself, I'm like, okay, well, it's red or black, right? And at the end of the day, I prefer the casino of the markets as opposed to the casino in Las Vegas, simply because I can actually walk away from the table with some money. That's the first part. The second part is understanding these market cycles. In a very simple way, I'll tell you something that I did, right? It was the month of October, this past October, 2022, and I put out a tweet. I said, I'm putting 10% of my net worth into Meta stock, and I'm buying Shopify stock when it was about $25. This is the peak bottom. What was my entire thesis? My entire thesis was a very simple one. For better or for worse, it was accurate. Whether it's Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, I'll let you answer the question. Out of all the 4 quarters based off of holidays and things of this nature, when people have spending tendencies, when do people spend the most amount of money?
Q3, 4, maybe.
Q3 or
one
Q4,
of those two.
correct. So you're looking at Christmas, you're looking at Thanksgiving, you're looking at all the holidays. What this means is that the advertisers, the e-commerce stores, they know that they are going to have to ramp up their ad spend. And Shopify's revenue is going to increase in Q4. That when the time comes in Q1 for them to report their earnings without fail, almost every single year, they beat expectations. Why? So you do, as a student of history, you understand history, you understand the patterns, pattern recognition, and based off of pattern recognition, you dictate your risk and reward ratio to make your calculated bet on how the future is going to lay out. So I was layer buying. That means buying stocks at different prices to have a dollar cost average entry of Meta between $82 and $62 or something along those lines. But my entry level was extremely cheap. Now Meta's at about $270, right? So without really doing a whole lot of math, I understood that most people are going to spend advertising dollars on Q4. Shopify is going to have a massive Q4 because they take a cut off of every transaction if you're using Shopify payments or people are opening up new stores. They're going to have phenomenal revenues. And if you look at their earnings reports in Q1 about Q4, that prediction was accurate. And that prediction simply came from my understanding of every single Q4 that Meta had, because I looked into it. You can look it up, Yahoo Finance, you can look up some articles, and every single Q4 that Shopify had. So I'm in a situation where I'm like, okay, Meta's already down 80% as a stock. Yeah, maybe it has the potential to go down another 5%. I could lose some money. But what is the risk reward? The risk is I lose a little bit of money. The reward is a massive payday. And now that stock is up 150%. So some people may be like, oh, well, that's not the reason a stock goes up. Who knows, right? But it did go up. And that premise stood true over the last couple of years. So I think risk adverse is good, but I think calculated risk is even better. You do not want to be sitting, watching everybody win. At some point, it's like, you know what? Maybe they know something that I don't. And if you can decipher what it is that people know that you don't, understand those things, understand the risk reward scenario of a situation, then you can begin to position yourself extremely well. Whether it is that you're an employee, whether it is that you're an executive in a company, whether it is that you're an entrepreneur, the objective is everybody wants to make more money. So now the question is, how can I be a glitch in the system, find glitches in the system, and identify these glitches and capitalize on them? And you don't have to be extremely intelligent in order to find them. You just have to ask why? Take the time to study, educate yourself, and relearn how you were taught how the world works. And I think that you'll be in a good situation.